those of you who have never seen our show before, don't worry, this is it, all right. It's an eclectic mix of reality television with some introverted self-awareness, generally typical of the type of show put together by a group of underachievers with a government grant. And here's my uncle, who happens to be the real dynamo of the family, which is hard for me to admit in public. But anyway, here he is, the star of the Red Green Show, Mr. Red Green!
Thank you, Harold. Thank you. Welcome to Possum Lodge. I have the sound turned down back there, so I can't hear Harold's intro. That's a trick you might consider for the next time you tune us in. Harold, you got an effect for us tonight, you know? Might as well give him one more way to turn off.
How about something like this?
Yeah, that ought to do it. Harold does those effects because he can. Anyway, there's something kind of strange going on at Possum Lodge this week, especially with our medical officer, Doc Render. For some reason or other, he's being nice to people, even to the point of driving into town in a closed vehicle with Stinky Peterson. So we figure he must be after something. And a lot of the lodge members have been complaining to me because when you get one of the guys, you know, sucking up to everybody and ingratiating himself and everything, it just reminds them of work, you know.
2, 54, and a double run is 20. What's that smell?
All right, so you skunked me, pinhead. At least you weren't playing for money.
I never play for money.
Yeah.
That would be gambling. I never gamble. That's why I'm the lodge treasurer. That's why you're not.
Well, how about this? What if you loan me, say, $500, and then 90 days from now I pay you back $600? That wouldn't be gambling, huh? Would it, Dougie?
Listening to you is gambling.
How about getting the money from Helmet? Helmet's got lots of money because his mom's got lots of money and she buys him stuff all the time. So she's got the money, she goes to the Helmet, and Helmet can give it to you.
That wouldn't be right, Harold. Wouldn't feel good about that. No, this was strictly an investment opportunity that I wanted to share with my good friend Douglas here. He's good with money, you know.
You're a disaster with money. You're a one-man stock market crash, Doc. You see, you'll need a job to get money, and you'll need a skill to get a job. And you'll need training to get a skill. And you'll need a loan to get training. And you'll need a bloody miracle to get a loan. Case closed.
You know, Doc, I'd lend you the money, but I'm a little strapped on cash right now. I still owe $67 to the Home Shopping Network. It's not so bad anymore. They repossessed my TV, you know, so I'm working through it, you know.
How about you, Bill? You got any money? Never mind.
You scrounging for cash again, Doc?
Oh, minor shortfall problem, Red, that's all. We're that close to striking oil. My stockbroker says it's a bad time for me to sell. You know.
I suggest that maybe he could hit Helmet up for the money. I'm sorry, what I meant was that he could present an investment opportunity to Helmet.
Yeah, but, you know, if you don't pay him back, you know, he'll just rip you up like a rag doll. I one time saw him pull a guy through a drain pipe by his lips.
Ow! That's horrible! Did you get it on film?
Hey, what about you, Red? You're fairly liquid.
Well, a lot of the time, yeah, but, you know, my mom said to me once, never lend money to a friend, you'll lose both.
Oh, no problem. I'm not your friend. I don't even like you.
Well, that's tempting, you know, but for me to lend you money, I'd have to go borrow the money first, and of course I'd have to clear that with the wife, and then it'd be the name calling, and sleeping in the garage, and 7 years of enforced celibacy, and... No, I just don't think I can make that work, you know?
Well, thanks anyway, Red.
Hey, this is great. Here comes Helmet, because you could ask him for the money. Helmet's got all sorts of money. This is great. Hey, Helmet, this is perfect, because Doc got something he wants to talk to you about.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Does he have my $500 yet?
Oh, I don't know. Doc! Wow.
Was he here?
No? Yeah.
Does he have my money?
Yeah.
I gave him $400. He said he'd give me $5.
You know where he's gone? You know where he's gone, Helmet? He went to get the money. Yeah, because he mentioned to me that he was like, you know, that close to striking a stockbroker.
Well, you tell him I'd like to see him, and he'd better come bearing gifts. I'm gonna go sharpen my tools.
Oh, good choice, Helmet. That's great. I'll mention that to him. If I see him about you and the, you know, the sharpened tools thing, that's a, woo, you're gonna get him with that one. I am so glad the Helmet doesn't work for the Home Shopping Network.
It does a man good to stop and look around at the trees and the sky and the water and the ground, the beasts on the land and the birds in the air. It's gonna take a long time for us to wreck this, but we're getting there. This week on Handyman Corner, going to show you how you can make some furniture. We need some chairs here up at the lodge because some of our old furniture is really killing us in insurance. You know, we got a recliner rocker here that's just unbelievable. But rather than switch to the no-fault system, what we thought we'd do is buy a couple of chairs. Well, I went and looked at them. Some of them are upwards $19.95, $20 even. That's what we pay for cars, you know. So I thought, well, heck, let's make our chairs, you know. And to do that, all we would need is a lathe. Now, a lathe is going to cost you $600 or $700, which we could get, say, a bus or a motorhome for. So instead of that, I'm going to show you how you can make your own lathe. All you need is a drill. Take your power drill, stick it into a vise. This is going to save you a heck of a lot of money, believe me. Okay, so maybe you don't have a vise, huh? Or maybe you don't even have a drill. So you're saying, well, how much is this going to save me? You know, well, I'll tell you what, a lathe is a lot cheaper than a vise and a drill put together. Plus, with a drill, look at all the things you can do with it. You can drill, you can screw, you can mix, you can puree, you can sand, you can grind, you can just take a Sunday morning and just sit at home spinning things around while the family's at church. Whereas with a lathe, all you can do is lathing, you know, except I guess you could stand on it as a platform when you're painting the ceiling. So you put this in pretty good here. Oh. Oh, and I may have... Okay. But a lathe is still going to cost you more than, say, a vise and 2 drills. Just tighten this up quickly before Moose Thompson notices that his drill's missing. Okay, now we need our wood that we're going to do our lathing on. This is a beautiful piece of teak. We're going to make a teak chair. This is going to be one of the legs. So what I got to do is just put a nail in the top there to hold her. Just need a hammer. Well, just use a bit of that old drill, like I told you. Drill is a very versatile tool. Oh, there's the hammer. All right, now we put this into our drill, or should I say, our lathe. And tighten that up. Oh, yeah. See how you're getting a feel for this now? And now I just need the chuck key. Oh, I go through chuck keys like pencils and hammers. Unbelievable. I buy them by the gross, you know. This here will last me about 3 months. Okay. All right, now, for our speed control, I got this... I'm going to put that in my pocket. For our speed control, I got this thing off my wife's sewing machine, never been used. And this will turn our drill into not only a lathe, but a variable speed lathe. So plug the drill into the pedal and plug the pedal up. Yep, and okay, so we take this metal bracket and I put a nail in this end of the wood now, and we just line that up there, fit that through there, and that'll hold her steady. Now, we want that bracket held onto the bench, so just use my power screwdriver here, and you want to really horse this down good because you don't want this thing coming off at 3,000 RPM going through your skull. No chair is worth that. Unless it was... No, not even then. Okay, that's good. That looks good. Now just check this other end here. Tighten that up good. Where's that chuck key? Oh. Oh, yeah. Who put that in there? All right. Oh. All right, and the holder. And just one last thing, just a comment on eye protection. You know, you only have 2 eyes. Take care of them. Okay. We're ready to go, so let's make some fine furniture. right, so now we would carve that down while it was spinning next time, and then you'd make 3 more, just like it, and then another time, maybe next week or whatever, we'll make ourselves the seat for this thing. Anyway, until next time, remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
It is spring, baseball season. Your son is pitching. The game is called on account of darkness in the first inning after your boy walked 37 consecutive batters. But he was pleased. His first no-hitter.
Well, Doc has hit on just about everybody here looking for money while he's all the time trying to hide from Helmet. In fact, he even disguised himself as a shrub, which was an unfortunate choice for the dog days of summer. And then after that, he just plain disappeared. But he told me that if he could afford it, he'd have a complete facial reconstruction and even a sex change operation. I figure if Helmet gets his hands on him, he'll get both of those for free.
So Helmet wants his pound of flesh, does he?
No, I think he just wants to pound Doc's flesh.
No, Uncle Red. The pound of flesh from the Merchant of Venus. Shylock wanted his pound of flesh.
So he took her arms?
No. See, his daughter dressed up as a lawyer and had the case thrown out based on the fact that in the 15th century, they didn't have the proper equipment for weighing meat.
English teachers have the highest suicide rate, don't they, Harold?
There are none so lonely as those of intellect.
And I did want to talk to you, with this financial problem that Doc Render is having.
No. That man is a complete liar and a fraud.
Well, he's also the lodge doctor,
Correction, he claims to be a doctor.
Yeah, but he's got all that doctoring equipment. He's got some tongue depressors and...
Red, 1 box of coffee stir sticks does not a doctor make. Doc Render once took my temperature with an indoor-outdoor thermometer.
Well, he told me that was a rectal oral. So you're saying you don't think he's a doctor?
Well, if he was, would he need money? Now, if he needs cash, well, let him go perform a gallbladder operation on somebody. What does he need the money for anyway?
Well, it depends who you ask. Some people he tells he's collecting money for a polar expedition, and he told Harold that he needed the money to make an alimony payment to Madonna.
Well, as credible and worthwhile as both those causes sound, we have no money in the kitty.
Well, that's just temporary, isn't it, Douglas? I mean, when do the members pay their dues next?
Same time every month. Never. In fact, Doc Render is the worst. If I enforce the lodge charter, he hasn't been a member since 1965. He's not good for it. He's a bad risk. He doesn't deserve a red cent. I am not a bank manager, Red.
Well, you sound a lot like my bank manager.
If I were to lend him money, where would it end? Soon everybody would be bothering me for money that I don't have to lend. If he needs money, he can just go out and earn it. Well, I'd be glad to pay him to come out here and sweep up and bundle all these leaves.
Well, I could mention it to him, but I don't think he's going to go for it. Doctors kind of like to protect their hands.
Well, he has to realize, Red, that money doesn't grow on trees.
Well, not when you get through with them anyway. Bill told me to meet him down at the dock. Yeah, I think that's Bill. Because he wanted to talk about various water safety and life preserver type equipment. So he did bring it. Now this is that's a life preserver, and you get the ropes there, and quite a few ropes there. Not to me. I guess that's where they go. Well, anyway, I figure you gotta have her tight. I really wasn't aware when I was But well, to me, if it's not tight, it's really not going to do you any good. So we horsed you right down there, and now he's ready to go. So it kind of looks like one of them little munchkins, doesn't he? It's kind of cute, like a decoy. And there's another type. Now this one, Bill knows all, but okay, you got the strap to tie at the front there, but I would have thought that the arms had to go through those armholes. Yeah, I think they do. Pretty sure they do. Oh well. Now this here is a boat hook, and when someone's in drowning or whatever, you can just kind of like extending your arm, and they hang on to that, and okay. Now Bill's gonna pretend he's drowning, and then I hand him the boat hook and just pull him in. Oh, and now he's pretending he's drowning again. I think he is. Oh well, yeah, he must have been. Now this is a life ring. I think the key here is check the size of it before you because exactly. Yeah. So Bill got a little smaller one, and also he thought he'd widen himself out a bit when he jumped onto this baby, and I think that was a mistake. But I think he got enough pieces left to build a new one. You okay, Bill?
You know, Uncle Red, it's not easy being a teenager. All the fears and worries and pressures from kids to do things that you know you really shouldn't do, you know?
Well, it doesn't concern me all that much, Harold.
Well, believe me, there's a lot of pressure to experiment with illicit pleasures. You know, they say things like, oh, go ahead, just try it. Go for it.
Well, you know, Harold, drugs will fry your brain. You can't afford that.
Drugs? I was talking about sex. Carnival knowledge. All righty, Roo. I mean, there's a lot of pressure to have sex. Constantly.
Well, I say give in, Harold.
No, I'm going to wait till I'm married.
Oh, yeah? Dickie Peterson's married. He's still waiting.
Yeah, see, I figure if I wait till I get married, then there's better likelihood that a girl will be involved.
Well, at this point, I think Doc is pretty well exhausted any hope he had of coming up with the money for Helmet. He did try to take back the cases of empties that we got stacked under the porch and in the kitchen and in the basement and over by the wood pile and I guess almost 90% of the boathouse and all the way down the dock. And by the time he got all them onto the stake truck, it blew all the tires and bent the frame. And then he thought he would go on a lecture tour, but that didn't sell well because people don't like listening to his bull even for free. So at this point, I would say Doc is toast. It's going to make for an interesting meeting tonight, I'll tell you. And by interesting, I mean violent.
Well, be nor borrower nor lender be.
Oh, yeah. Is that from that same book where Skylark tried to pound somebody in the flesh?
No, it's William Shakespeare, the poet, the playwright. You know what he'd say to Doc Render in a case like this? To thine own self, be true. Oh, it's a meeting time, Uncle Red. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, let's go. I'll meet you down there, okay?
Yeah, all right, Harold. I don't think this is going to take too long because I'll let the others drive Doc to the hospital.
All rise. Sorry. Get out, Lee.
The floor recognizes Helmut Wintergarten.
Doc Render owes me $500, and I would appreciate it if anybody here could tell me where he is. We made an agreement of an interest rate of 48 points, which is better than I could do with GICs or on the bond market. But if he tries to stiff me, I'm not going to reward bad behavior. First, I'll rip his ears off.
All right, hold your horses. I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Hi, guys. Hi, Helmet.
Where's my cash?
Helmet, have I got good news for you? In fact, I got good news for everybody.
What, did you bring a lie detector?
You know what the main problem around here is? Nobody has any confidence in the other guy. But that's okay. You don't think that King Fazai Fazort Fazuful will let that kind of thing stand in his way, do you? You know who he is, don't you, Helmet?
Where's my 500 bucks?
King Fazuful is the world's richest man. He makes $126 billion an hour. And then there's overtime. The guy does well.
Doc, is any of this going to tie into the real world at any time in the near future, do you think?
Well, Red, it's all part of my new investment scheme. You see, about 6 months ago, I started by borrowing $100 from Stinky Peterson. Right, Stink? Yeah. And then the next month, I borrowed $200 from Moose Thompson. Yeah. Out of which I paid Stinky $150.
Wait. What happened to the other 50?
If you're gonna start nickel and diming me, we're gonna lose the whole concept. Anyway, my plan's been going just great. I keep on attracting new investors, and with each new refinancing, I get closer and closer to the final payoff, which is when I go to King Fazuful and get $6 trillion, which oil sheiks like him, well, they spend as a tax write-off.
And what happens to all the profits, Doc?
To be shared equally amongst all the investors. Now, the dividends, however, cannot be realized unless I get another $500 of new cash to pump into the system. Or unless Helmet there wants to defer his shares.
How'd you like to defer your pulse?
You know, Helmet, I made this for your mother. It took quite a bit of time, of course, time that I could have used to get your money back, but, well, I felt it was more important. I think a lot of your mother, Helmet.
Thank you. She likes these. She wears them in her hair. Okay, you got another 24 hours.
Well, thank you, Helmet. At least somebody can show a little confidence around here.
Well, if there's no other business, Bill, well, then I call on Douglas here for a little entertainment. Oh, go ahead, Dougie. It's the Duck Man. It's the Duck Man.
Thank you, Red.
Yeah, keep it hopping. Keep it hopping.
I will, thank you.
How about a few jokes there, Doug?
And there's an unfortunate chapter that will never be repeated. No, boys, I've got something very special for you today. How to clean your fingernails.
Well, hopefully Doc has learned his lesson. You know, for a guy who needs money all the time, you think he might hang out with some people who had some. I don't know why Doc chooses to spend time with us rather than the rich and famous. Or maybe the rich and famous have kind of told him this is the way it's got to be. Anyway, if my wife is watching, I'll be coming straight home after the meeting, and I'm bringing Doc, so would you leave $500 in small bills on the kitchen table? No, it's not a loan, it's an investment. So, until next time, on behalf of myself and Harold and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, keep your stick on the ice.
First thing that you do is take a little emery board and you start filing like this. And you start very carefully like this, you see. You gotta make sure that you don't cut off the cuticle too much.
Don't
You just sort of file it very gently like that. There you go. There you go, like that, you see? And voila, I've got a very nice clean fingernail. Now, the other thing that I've brought with me here...
Oh, yeah, I dare you to hit me. I dare you.